So for the past few weeks I've been working on this Iveco daily camper. You might see in a couple of videos on it. We're finally getting a handle on the welding now. I'll just show you what we've been getting up to. It's just been a couple of weeks now, just welding constantly. I haven't really been spending time doing anything else. Done a couple of racing, events in between time, but mostly just cracking on with the welding. So now, if you look at it, we've got the new flooring. We've got the new wheel tubs from Poland. They came. What a brilliant bit of paneling. Put the floor in. We've done all the welding sections down here. Filled in the little holes for the drains and the original heater there. Also addressed some of the perforation rust holes that were in the floor there and here. So that's the inside basically done. I think I've got another little bit here which we'll sort out. I've sort of shied away from that because I'm sick of seeing the floor and my knees were killing me on the inside of the floor. Also replaced a piece in here, just a bit in here. And also we've got the original fridge vents covered up. That's all sorted. Now coming outside, this is the new step. Hard to see that in the full view, but yeah, this is the completely rebuilt step. It was a little bit rough along this edge here because I couldn't replicate the contours of the step, and then obviously with welding it went a little bit warpish, but the door rail fits on there and you won't even see that anyway by the time it's done. So it's basically had a new rail channel, had a new inner sill, outer sill, and also the sill underneath, leading up to the back of the rail there. So that's the outside piece for the fridge. We've got some more bits here which are going to be addressed today. I'm going to get that all done. This was part of a repair. Doesn't look great from this side. It looked better from the other side. This is part of the repair that was done as part of the floor inside. So originally I didn't, there was a plastic panel on here, and I also, when I had the floor up, I sort of addressed that patch. It was difficult to get to from the situation where I was on the inside. Now looking at this side, I'm probably just going to dress this up a little bit and put some seam sealer in there and whatnot. This piece, obviously I haven't got the full plastic trim off, so I don't know the extent of the damage, the extent of the repair that's going to be needed. Moving on, we've got this piece here. I can't work out why it's rotten so much there, to be truthfully honest. It just seems really strange that one area is gone. The only thing I can assume that it's some dirt or something's been held there. Doesn't look like there was any damage, to it, through the plastic or whatever. So yeah, that'll be a simple repair. That will be, be just a matter of cutting up here and down here and sorting that out. This is where the magnet door stop is. I think I'm just probably going to cut that out, put a flat plate like I did the other side. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, looking a bit rough. Probably clean that back and see what's going on there. But I do know on the underside of this, this is why it's so jacked up so high, because I will be going underneath and addressing a few of the rusty areas underneath. There is a bracket here for, I think it's for the floor, but it's badly corroded on the other side. So I have considered cutting that piece out on the other side and sorting that out. But I think if I do that, I'm probably going to end up replacing the bracket on the other side and probably putting a piece in there going around here. this is just, I mean, it's pretty heavy surface corrosion, but the inside's also gone, which is why I can do this. We've repaired all these corners here. I have got photos, I just didn't take any video at the time of that repair. I have got photos, but like I said, I didn't take a video of that repair. So that was a panel that was made. Now looking at all this whole rear door step has been rebuilt. So originally, this is the original part of the floor. This piece is all new, all the way along here. This piece is new, and this piece was severely damaged. You can see some ripples in it, which we'll sort out with some, you know, some sort of stopper, just to get that right once it's all primed in epoxy primer. But that panel was removed, all spot welds drilled out, and it was dollied out. You can see just along here, same here, dollied out as best as I could sort of get it really. And yeah, so then that was sort of stitched back on. There's some other repairs done up behind here and all that kind of stuff. So both corners, funnily enough, on this rear were damaged. So this has now been replaced as well, as, you know, same as the other side. We've got some repairs that had to be made in the channel here because they were just so corroded. You know, there was a big hole up here where, I don't know, somebody filled this with expanding foam, and I think it just held the moisture in there, and it probably ran down here, which corroded the panel out quite severely. Leading up to the top, done quite a bit of work since the last video. So both these corners here and here have been replaced, plus the channeling up the top, just below that vent up there, basically where the grey primer is, that was all replaced. I had to make that into 2 panels because in order to get the angle of where I needed it to be, and it's sort of a curved panel, that all had to be just basically fabricated and chopped and all that kind of stuff. But we got there, and it looks tidy now. So this back area is actually fully completed now. It's ready for epoxy primer and all the good stuff that comes with it after that. Moving round to the driver's side, this is the same repair as what I'm going to have to do on the other side. I haven't fitted, I need to fit the plastic panel to work out where the drill hole is going to be for the magnetic door stop. Once I figured that out, I'm either going to riv nut it, or I'm going to try and get a nut in the back of it and put a couple of tacks on it. I think that's doable. Same repair as the other side. Must be something in there. Must be like, I don't know, there's no rain gutter there or anything, but there must be something in there that causes both sides, identical places, to rot out. Moving along down the side of the van, I haven't primed them areas, by the way. I just finished them on Friday last week. This panel's been replaced completely, all up in here, down, and a new lower seam all been replaced. This piece was a complicated piece, and it's not like the original, but there wasn't really much to go on. But looking down there, you can probably see there's a slight curve leading into this piece here. Now, replace the intersection, but I think I haven't done this as OEM. I probably should have sweeped that panel down and brought it into this piece here. But it's a complicated panel to make, for me anyway. So all this has been repaired. The seams around here, up along here and back down. And yeah, I probably could have made something to come down here, but as far as I was concerned, as long as that's dropping into that piece there, and it's welded to that, then it shouldn't be an issue. So we're pretty much up to date with all the welding work that's going on. Obviously, we still haven't stripped the front door step out along here. Part of me thinks that this had some work before, because you see some primer there. So I think that this might have had work. I have worked on this van previously, when it was owned by somebody else, and I've done all the work up front. All the metal work in the floor had been done before. The front sort of area where the sort of inside the engine bay, it had all been done. I spent 2 weeks welding it. Like I say previously, this doesn't have the door trim, but I think, like I say, what we're going to find on the other side is the same as what we've got here, which is a solid door step. The seats have been out of this vehicle before when the previous welding was done. The mat came out, so I know that all this up front is going to be solid. So like I say, really the last 2 bits of welding are probably down here and this little section here. I won't know fully until I've got this wheel arch panel off, but looking at the other side, if it's anything to go on, then I would say that it's just these lower sections that need sorting out. Like I say, there are some repair works that need to be done underneath the van, which is why the van's so high currently. And if I get down underneath it, you're going to be able to see, hopefully if the light's not blinding you, some repairs that need to be carried out. So I think the first order of the day, really, once I've done the outside repairs, is going to get a wire wheel on that, and then see where we're at with the metal that we're going to have to replace. I'm going to spin around here. Also got a repair there. I'm hoping that won't come too much. I mean, it's a bit flaky, don't get me wrong, and I'm hoping maybe with a bit of cleaning up, might be able to just salvage that one. Underneath you can see where the repair's been done on the floor. I've also originally, the floor had a single sort of top hat structure leading across the chassis there. With replacing the floor and the sheet steel that's not ribbed, I decided to put two 40mm pieces of box section in. The floor's not structural anyway, so because it's sat on the chassis rail, so it was literally just to brace it. Obviously when you put the wooden floor in and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna make it better, but I didn't want the flooring basically just bow in or anything like that when we were walking over it. So that's the reason why I put the two box sections in. You can see from this angle, I just used normal 40mm box section just to create what I wanted to create, and just to help the floor there. So all that's done. But once the welding's done and the section's sort of primed, the next stage will probably be to wire wheel the entire underside of the van and then prime it. There's certain areas that have been welded and the sort of bare metal areas with epoxy primer, and then we're going to wax oil all underneath it, and that's probably a 2-3 day job in itself, just cleaning up the chassis and all the body structures and everything like that, making sure there's no more corrosion anywhere. And then once the wax oiling's done on the outside, we can push forward with the Raptor coating on the outside, which this van now is owned by somebody who works in the Royal Air Force, has big dealings with the Royal Air Force. So we're going to Raptor coat it in a colour that's very similar to the RAF blue, and yeah, I think it'll look quite nice once it's done. It'll be a nice little project once it's all in a single colour. So yeah, if you want to see more, I know it's a bit of a long video, but if you want to see more, keep an eye on it and we'll show you how it goes.